Coach, how far along is your group compared to maybe this time of year?
Compared to this time a year ago, really far along. Just having the full season with most of those guys last year, and having a full spring, and then this camp. They're in terms of knowledge of the offense, and then the technical part of what they're doing. They're a long way ahead of where they were. Really pleased with that part of it.
What does Jordan Wilson bring to the fold, and how has he done in coming back from the injury?
Yeah, you can see just physically, he's a different guy than what we had, and he gives us a physical element in that group, just a bigger body and athleticism, and brings a lot of experience. And he's done a great job in camp. He's had to learn the system. It's one thing to hear it on paper in the meeting room, but to actually go out there on the field and have to execute it. But he's done a great job in camp of putting it all together, and looking forward to seeing what he does this year.
You talked about, I guess, the difference from a year ago. How much of a difference from those guys who were here, who were new last year, Marquise and Preston and Carter? What have you seen from them with kind of a year in the system?
Yeah, I mean, all those new guys, they, just like any freshman coming in, just trying to figure out kind of the basics of where they're supposed to be. And I would say every one of those guys, Preston Daniel has had a tremendous camp. He's, worked extremely hard on everything that we've asked him to do. He's done a great job. Mark Houston's really flashed in a lot of ways. His size jumps out, but he's an athletic guy as well. And then Carter Boatwright's 245 pounds. He's gotten a lot bigger since his time last year, a lot more physical, catches the ball well. So all those young guys, and there's some other guys in that group, but those guys are progressing well.
Jackson West, one of those guys in that group, is on healthy this year.
Yeah, he definitely is. Jackson is, he brings a physical edge and has had a good camp. He really has. He's like any freshman. He's still trying to learn some of the basics of what we're doing, but I think at some point this year, I think you'll see all those guys have a shot to help us.
What area have you seen the strides in Cam McDonald's game? Is it, maybe growth as a leader, or is it something more on the field?
Yeah, both. On the field, like, he's always been a gifted route runner. He's a natural pass catcher. He gets in and out of breaks. He does all the things as a receiving tight end that you want him to do. But he's worked really, really hard at inline blocking, perimeter blocking out of the backfield. He's improved his game a lot as a blocker, but also leadership-wise. He's a guy that does a lot in the community, as you guys know, and I think that inspires other guys. I think he's a guy that inspires people on and off the field in a lot of different ways, and has just been a great asset for us since we've been here.
Like how different are practices this year? Now that you guys know what to expect.
Yeah, just having the normal process of off-season, spring, summer, that all being basically uninterrupted, with the exception of your normal COVID stuff, but not having a huge gap where there's a shutdown. That's just been huge in the normal progression of the development of a team. So, you go through all that, and then you get to training camp, and you actually see the payoff from all that stuff in terms of them knowing what they're doing, in terms of the assignment part, but then just the technique. Football is really three parts. The assignment, what do I do, what route do I run, what block do I execute, but then how do I do it, the technique, and then playing hard, and then the conditioning. All those elements have to come together. And when you have gaps in that, you don't get the effect that you want. But we've been able to do that, and we're excited, man. We're excited to see how all that unfolds.
Athleticism of these quarterbacks, does that open stuff up for the tight ends, or do the tight ends have to be more aware of blocking downfield to open things up for the quarterback?
No, it does. All our quarterbacks can escape and make plays on the run, and you saw that in the North Carolina game last year. Jordan broke the pocket on a normal 4 vertical route, and then he breaks the pocket. Cam kind of improvises in the back of the end zone, and the go-ahead touchdown in a big game. So we actually work that stuff. Coach Norvell, Coach Dillingham do a great job of structuring in scramble drills in practice to once the pocket breaks down. Now what do we do? It's not just everybody run to an open spot. I mean, there's an actual structure to that. And so we practice that, and we expect to make plays on that just like we do when the play structure is there, you know. So, but we're well aware, and that helps us. It does. I mean, it creates some things where we can get open where we normally wouldn't.
You mentioned just the essence of this sport is being powerful and moving the guys in front of you. How much more equipped, I guess, mentally or just physically do you feel your guys are right now?
They're way ahead. They're way ahead. I mean, I think Josh Storms and that group's the best in the business. I go back to Arizona State with Coach Storms, and a lot of the players that I was fortunate to coach, he was, you know, instrumental in developing those guys, and a lot of those guys are still playing in the NFL. You see what his abilities are and his staff, and so you see that, and now you get to go out on the grass and actually transfer that power. There is a, you know, the power is created from the ground, and when you understand how to transfer that into a defender, it helps you a lot as a player. And I think we've had, you know, ample time to work on that stuff and improve on the things that we need to improve on. So, again, I'm excited to see how that unfolds on the field.
Anything else for Coach? Well said.
All right, thank y'all. Have a good day.